Hi everyone, it's Reason. As we're just a few days away from Planet Coaster 2, I wanted to give a proper farewell to the first game we all loved. As you've seen in the title, you know what this video is about. I'll be showcasing all my parks since I started playing. I began in 2016, but for a year I only played the career mode, so I won't be showing those. They're not that interesting. Let's dive in. My first park in sandbox mode is Planet 3000. Most of the buildings are my own creations, but I've added some blueprints from the Steam workshop here and there. I placed a few rides and buildings before giving up. The sci-fi theme just didn't inspire me at the time. This huge park is called Spongland. Weird name, huh? It's dedicated to my group of friends, whom we called the Sponges. I created one zone for each of them, referencing their physical traits, hobbies, favorite movies, games, all the languages they were learning at the time. The following year, I decided to build an entire adventure park without using any workshop items. I wanted everything to be original and crafted by my own hands. I even ended up posting some blueprints on the workshop myself. This project also marked the first time I tried building a dark ride. Next up is Lakeside Park, a name that you'll hear again later in this video. Some of you might already know why. Just look at the size of this castle. At this point, I realized that I had developed a fondness for the fairy tale theme, which is one of my favorites in the game. However, I still had a weak laptop, so I abandoned this park when it became too large and laggy. Here's a little unfinished project simply named Planet Coaster Park, where I aimed to provide a complete experience for each attraction, even the flat rides. I particularly love the car ride Machina Classica in this one. At Wonder Lake Park, I really pushed my old laptop to its limit. Poor thing. It might surprise you, but this entire park was built in challenge mode, so I had a limited budget. Enjoy the many coasters and rides at Wonder Lake Park. As I enjoyed challenge mode, I renewed the experience with Discovery World. This one is much smaller, as I got busy with other projects you're about to discover. And here it is, a collaboration project. I participated in building a park with other members of the Planco community. Each one of us had to create an area dedicated to one of the game's mascots. For me, it was Princess Armen, which was perfect because I love the fairy tale theme. Here's Hayakawa, my first creation for a contest. If I remember correctly, contestants had just a month to create a fully themed coaster in a predetermined area. I went with a water coaster set in a pirate and Asian environment, mixing both elements as much as possible. It was through this contest where I really pushed my detailing skills that I thought to myself, hey, I'm actually getting decent at this game. Another contest submission is Cholat Siaka, which means the Dead Mountain. It tells the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident, where Soviet hikers were found dead in the Ural Mountains under mysterious circumstances during a cold Russian winter. At the time, authorities concluded that compelling natural forces caused the death. This event has inspired books, series, and movies fueled by numerous theories highlighting its supernatural aspects. Fantasy World is the largest park I've created. Just look at its size. I had to test the limits of my new computer, and I did. I explored many themes, some from the game and others I developed myself, like the Viking theme. I grew fond of that theme, as you'll see in my next park. But for now, let's enjoy this massive park that took me over a year to complete. Valhalla is another contest submission I made 3 years ago, and I'm still very proud of it. It doesn't take up much space, but is filled to the brim. I couldn't tell you the number of wooden pieces it took to build this park, but it's certainly massive. I particularly enjoyed creating the dueling coaster, Odin and Fenrir. This park even features an explosive surprise at the end. Next is something I've called the Blueprint Map, gathering several projects I published on the Steam Workshop. Some of which were contest submissions. After going big with my two last parks, I enjoyed a period focused on the little things, building small but well. Oh, this one is one of my favorites. I tried to recreate an avatar-like environment just for an ATM. It's called Navi Money. And it says, "Silly you, the Navis have no currency, but here's your access to James Cameron's bank account after Avatar 2. Yes, I'm a generous person. This Notre Dame de Paris cathedral hides a little secret. A flat ride. I believe this one is called the Zozo. Another contest submission here is the Windmill Restaurant. Yes, it was a restaurant contest. I went all out with the details on this one, maybe a bit too much TMTK, though not the most useful ones. Say hello to our favorite restaurant manager before we leave. The Land of Legends is yet another contest submission. I remember I built this very quickly, less than 3 months, and I'm quite proud of it. It features more realistic elements like transfer tracks and backstage areas. Did I mention I love the fairy tale theme? Blue Coal Valley is another, you guessed it, a contest submission. When I submitted it, it wasn't completely finished, but I'm happy with what I accomplished. Steampunk is a theme I've always wanted to explore. For the first time, I built a dark ride with a full voiceover for a more immersive experience. This park particularly glows at night. La Aurora is a collaboration with the French builder Leorio. He created the coaster and I handled the theming all around it. Yes, it was for another contest. In La Ruhr, you take a deep dive into Germany's Industrial Revolution. Enjoy the ride! Sadly, this is an unfinished project. I proposed an entrance for an unnamed community park with my favorite theming. It included guest services, fully detailed toilets, and was meant to be the start of something massive, created by several community members. Unfortunately, my submission wasn't accepted and the park never came to fruition. This one is painful to watch. Piltover Zone was one of my most ambitious projects. I aim to recreate the story of the first season of the Netflix series Arcane, based on the lore of the infamous game League of Legends. I wanted each ride to tell part of the story, but my motivation decreased as the project progressed. I still want to show you the discovery of Hextech, which I believe is the best dark ride I've built in Planet Coaster. Finally, here's my last park in this game, Lakeside Vale. It was a contest submission, but I couldn't finish it in time. I forged ahead anyway and built what I wanted to build. I didn't want to leave Planet Coaster behind without completing one last park. And there you have it. For me, Planet Coaster represents 7 years of pure fun, joy and delight. A world where I could escape and let my imagination run wild. Although the game was initially a solitary experience, I later discovered the importance of sharing with the community, even for a single-player game. It allowed me to connect with some incredible creators and, above all, welcoming and kind-hearted people. Thanks to Frontier for this amazing game, I can say without exaggeration that it has changed my life. I feel a bit sad to leave, but I know it's for the best. From what I've seen of Planet Coaster 2, I'm sure it will be a success and that many hours of fun await. I'd like to thank everyone who has followed and supported me over the years and shared moments with me in this incredible game. This is the end of an era, but it's also the beginning of a new one. Farewell, Planet Coaster.